Hey everyone, it's Alex here from Houndstooth Studio, and I'm just filming in our beautiful client lounge, and I just wanted to do a little video about some of the press we've received this year. It really has been an amazing year for us, and we had articles that went global and viral all around the world. And I just wanted to say to all the journalists who took the time to interview me about animal photography and who wrote those articles, a big thank you. Thank you to all the people who read them, and thank you to the lovely people who wrote feedback, wrote us emails, or wrote on our Facebook wall and gave us feedback as well. We really appreciate it, and it was quite amazing. Earlier in the week, I had a great piece of press on the Daily Mail website, the Daily Mail UK website, which also has an arm in Australia too. And what happens when you get press on those sites, other news sites share it on their own site and spread it around. And one of the sites that shared it, we think, must have converted it into a foreign language and then used Google Translate to switch the article back to English. And I just want to read the article to you because it honestly cracked me up. It was probably the best piece of press I've ever read about myself. It's certainly the funniest. And if you can work out what it means, please let me know. But I think me reading it probably has a greater impact than you reading it on the screen for yourself. So if you can indulge me, I'm going to let you know what it says. I'm sure because it's written down it's all true. It's not true. But here we go. So it's called From Sophistery, a Spawn of Hyper Puppies to Being Sat On by an Emu. Meet a animal photographer who captures darling pet snaps. Wildlife photographer Alex Cearns has served in a military force for 14 years and visited some extraordinary locations, though one of her many noted moments is when an emu sat on tip of her during a photo shoot. 40-year-old Cearns, how old I was, who has expelled her second book, Joy, that is filled with animal photos, is unequivocally spooky with the bushy creatures and photographs around 1,300 animals per year. I am unequivocally spooky with the bushy creatures. I went to sketch an emu and she sat on tip of me. She bumped me out of a approach and we kind of fell in a belligerent. And she came over and sat on tip of me, a Western Australian lady told Daily Mail Australia. I think the Western Australian lady was supposed to be me. This orangutan was vital in a cluster in Singapore when Cearns visited for a photo shoot. The whole family were feeding during a time and eating mangosteen. Now we'll just switch to something else. When she was 16 years old, Cearns bought a film camera, though didn't unequivocally have any suspicion how to use it. If anyone out there doesn't have suspicion on how to use their camera, please contact me and do our course. I'm just putting that bit in, it's not in the article. But anyway, I digress. She assimilated a West Australian police service when she was 19 and left 14 years after to pursue her hobby of animal photography. Since then, she is non-stop adult her possessed studio, Houndstooth Studio, and has won some more than 50 Australian and general detailed awards. I realise that we favourite photographing animals best, she said. I sure did. I would like to kind of ride towards birds and dogs if we was during a park other than people and landscapes. It's where I'm unequivocally gentle photographing, we onslaught with all else. That's possibly my favourite sentence in history of the world. It's where I'm unequivocally gentle photographing, we onslaught with all else. While she was always suspicion, her favourite animal would be something exotic, she reveals that she loves to sketch a common dog. The domestic animal's umbrella, a door, has desirous many of a photographer's constrained snapshots in her book. Oh my goodness. Max, a smiling wombat, came into Cearns' studio in a pouch. He was shortly jumping around and smiling for a camera. That actually pretty much makes sense. A exhausted baby fighter puppy, boxer puppy, was photographed by Cearns in a studio during only 8 weeks old. Puppies generally play until they pile up, fall asleep. And Cearns managed to constrain this darling sketch only before a puppy fell asleep. They only give we so many completely and are generally happy to see you, she said. I also adore photographing baby local Australian animals, since we only consider we have some of the sweetest many darling creatures here and we consider they're gorgeous. In Cearns' pleasing book, she sum a fun animals yield to humans in a world. Each design has its possessed story and starts with a darling a baby orangutan sucking its thumb. This is really good. The changed animal was vital in a cluster in Singapore when Cearns visited for a photo shoot. Deja vu. The whole family were feeding during a time eating mangosteen. I was a few metres divided and it was a small bit dim, so we couldn't indeed see what we was capturing during a time. It wasn't until we got home and looked during a cinema 3 weeks after we realised a baby had been sucking their thumb, she said. Cearns says her favourite animal to sketch is a common dog. She loves how umbrella they are. If anyone knows what an umbrella dog is, or if a dog has an umbrella, again, please let me know. On a conflicting page lies a cheeky smiling wombat from Bonnarong Wildlife Sanctuary in Tasmania. Yes, Bonnarong. Cearns explains that Max the wombat was about a distance of a football and full of joy. He came into a studio event tucked in an adult pouch. When a time came to sketch a bushy animal, he was jumping around, headbutting Cearns and going crazy on a set. However, he shortly stayed behind down and went behind to his pouch, happily smiling adult during her like a little Buddha. Okay. Not quite how I recollect it, but Cearns tells of an harmed grasshopper. It wasn't harmed. She photographed in an educational animal trickery in Western Australia. I have never harmed or tricked a grasshopper, just for the record. Cearns has non-stop possessed adult in her studio, and the grasshopper was maybe 3.5 inches in length, and when she asked, they can bite, she said. 40-year-old Cearns, who has expelled her second book Joy that is filled with animal photos, is unequivocally spooky with the bushy creatures and photographs around 1,300 animals per year. Again, a little bit of deja vu, but hey, unfortunately for her, they can bite. And it was a titan call for a photographer. It was a titan call, definitely. A baby sign on Kangaroo Island held Cearns' eye after entrance over to her on a beach and nudging her. The seal's mum had left off sport and a sign was apparently checking to see if Cearns was her mother. I do not have any children who are signs. I felt like he was checking to see if we was his silent and afterwards went behind and laid down again, she said. An exhausted fighter baby puppy was photographed by Cearns in a studio during only 8 weeks old. I think we've been through this. Puppies generally play until they pile up, and Cearns managed to constrain this darling sketch only before a puppy fell asleep. Moving on. The story of Alex Pig unequivocally tugs during a heartstrings. The pig incited adult one day during an embankment of Brightside Farm Sanctuary in Tasmania. A few days later, Cearns visited, and motionless to torment a pig on his stomach. Did not torment a pig on his stomach. I might have tickled a pig on his stomach, but I did not torment a pig on his stomach. Not many thought that a pig was wandering and did not go to a farm. Just in case you missed that sentence, I'll do it again. A few days later, Cearns visited, and motionless to torment a pig on his stomach, not meaningful that a pig was wandering and did not go to a farm. There you have it. Now it's going on again about the baby sign on Kangaroo Island. I'll skip that because there was no sign that thought I was its mum. I don't know what that's about. While her crony was troubled, my crony, she had overwhelmed a feral animal, Cearns grown a clever bond with a pig. Excellent. When she visited again in Feb this year, a pig didn't commend her. And Cearns left a stable upset. I was very upset. If pigs don't commend me, I really take it personally, and I do get very upset. That bit is actually true. However, within an hour, a pig has run out in hunt of his friend, remembering their heartwarming impulse together. I was delighted. We was great since we was so excited, she said. Cearns motionless to sketch 3 Balinese travel puppies for a campaign called Look Twice. The debate directed to make people stop and demeanour during animals on the streets of Bali instead of branch a blind eye. I wanted to do a studio glow since we wanted to uncover people that dogs and cats on a travel in Bali are unequivocally only same as pets during home. I'll do that one again. I wanted to do a studio glow since we wanted to uncover people that dogs and cats on a travel in Bali are unequivocally only a same as a pets during home, she said. Don't try and cater them, only give them an additional square of toast or something. There you have it. I'll put the link on here so you can read it for yourself. Enjoy, have a laugh, have a great Christmas.